I think that is a struggle for a lot of photographers and artists in general, because I always, say it's like your character levels. Like you can be, really good looking or have great people skills, but all your bars are not going to be full, right? That kind of leads into what I was going to say. AI is awesome, but it's a tool.
It is.
It's a tool.
It is a tool.
And I think that's what it should be used as in the art scene. Because it shouldn't just be, you type in words in and that's your artwork.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's just, I know it, people do it and people make money with it, and that's fine. I'm glad they can.
Yeah.
But
welcome to another episode of Connect Media, and today I have another guest with me. He is a photographer. We recently shot a wedding together, but I have met him years in the past. And yeah, he's gonna introduce himself, and we're gonna get right into this thing. So, what's going on, my man?
What's up? My name's Saxon Wilson, photographer out of Starkville. Business is called Saxon Cam Photo. Been doing this in the business, I guess, since about 2014, but got some schooling and a little bit of that. So,
got you. And you said you was based in Starkville, right?
Based in Starkville, originally from Columbus.
Yeah.
Met my wife in art school, and she was from Starkville, so we moved over here, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So art. Okay, you said art school. So you always was a artistic person, or?
Yeah, I knew. From early on. 5, 6. I was drawing and all that stuff, making my own comic books and stuff like that. So I knew it was going to go that direction. I just didn't know what area that I was going to end up in. So basically just tried everything until I hit something that instant gratification, which is good for me, because I can get bored with stuff pretty easily. But yeah, I knew it was gonna end up some way in the art field, just kind of chipping away at it till I found it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because I was never I wasn't an art person, but I was an athlete. So like anything that was challenging, if it challenged me enough and I thought it was intriguing, I can probably be the best at it, or good at it.
I got you.
But being an art, I realized that about your style for sure. But before I ask about your style, can you tell me how has it been based in Starkville influenced like your photography style and your business?
I feel that it's influenced the business as far as the architecture and how Starkville is laid out. It's pretty tight knit. There's only a couple roads, and everything kind of has a specific look to it. Some of the older buildings, the Cotton District, stuff like that really is trademark for Starkville. I think that does influence the way the art looks in a way. And also it's a very tight-knit community, so you're working with a lot of people and networking and just connecting everybody, I guess, is how it's made the most impact.
Right.
The more jobs you do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess that's how it's influenced me.
Has it? Yeah. I can see that, but for sure, like I said, we worked on a wedding about a couple weeks ago now, and I realized it kind of makes sense now that you said you was into art, because like your style to me is like a documentary style, because the way how you not only just your angles, but like how you use lighting as well. So like, can you kind of tell us or explain to us how you use your like lighting techniques on the wedding day, or just in general?
Well, originally, most of my work is natural light photography, but also I get obsessed with LEDs and the new tech as far as lighting and stuff like that. I guess it goes as it would be unconventional lighting techniques, because I like to use continuous LEDs, which typically most photographers are using flash or strobes or whatever. But I like to set the scene up with a continuous LED, and that way I can move around because I'm not a static photographer. I don't like to stand still. I want to be moving the whole time. So that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, like with the documentary style, like that's something I know that's gonna set you apart for years to come, because a lot of, as we both know, it's so many people year in and year out, new people coming in and just picking up a camera and just learning how to just take, you know, natural photos, like with natural lighting. And so with you, I realized that out of all the photographers that I work with, you actually brought your own set of lights.
Right.
You know, because normally, like we was talking about at the wedding, that I brought my lights.
Right.
And normally, you know, you have to rely on yours for certain situations, of course.
Yeah, sure.
But I know that's gonna definitely set you apart. That has been already, I don't know what I'm saying but your lighting style is something that I admire, because that's kind of, it gives that documentary feel where if I watch a documentary about their life, let's say about a couple's life, I feel like your photos is definitely gonna be implemented into that documentary.
Right. Yeah, you saying that, it's kind of, I like to tell a story with, especially on the wedding day. You know, I like the in-between shots that kind of take you from place to place and do tell a story. So I understand what you mean when you speak on it in that way.
Like, did you like, what helped you perfect that style? Did you watch certain photographers? Did you read books by any chance?
It's mainly to learning about lighting and stuff. You know, obviously I had, you know, lighting and composition classes in college, but I think I learned the most and was able to I had skills that I built in school, but getting out and helping, the first person I worked for was Hunter Hart Photo, and being his second shooter at a wedding, you know, basically working for free and just kind of learning how to apply all the things that I learned in school. And it just started clicking, and I knew there was something to it that I really liked, that instant gratification, which helps me to stay intrigued, I guess. Yeah. So I don't get bored with it, because I'm always doing so many different things. You walk into a scene and basically you're solving the problems. Yeah. So, and that's what a photographer is in a sense.
It is. Yeah. And that's the kind of same way with me. Like I said, I was an athlete, so that if I find it interesting a little bit, I'm gonna be like, I want to be the best at it, or at least try to be the best. And so, how I perfected my style, and still perfecting to this day, I not only watched other filmmakers or videographers, I watched cinematographers. If not cinematographers, I actually watched movies, and I went from movies to like, okay, somebody had to plan all this. I went to directors. So I literally like watch directors, like just listen to them talk. Right. And get an understanding of why they getting the shots that they getting, and why they telling their story. And so that would help me in the long, especially from one point, because I had started and I got a feel of it, and I was like, okay, I'm getting the style. It's not quite separating me yet, but I'm getting there. And once I found that out, figured that out about movies and try to mimic the movies in a sense, it really made me go, you know, elevated my whole business, really.
I can see that. I feel like after it kind of clicks and you start seeing light, and you start picking out the scenes in movies, or you see the composition and you're like, oh man, he said that. You know, your average person, they're like, oh, that looks good, but we're breaking it down like, oh, that you see the symmetry, or
the lighting,
and
the possible props they used, and the stands they had to use to get that light in that position. And then about the camera, the settings of the camera, and of course they got, you know, manual lenses, all that stuff. So it's just so much to that stuff that people don't realize when they're watching it. Like, it's amazing for a reason, right? Because there's so many little things that they had to get right for those scenes to be perfect, right? Or dang near perfect. But
one thing that I like to do, and my youngest daughter has started doing it as well, but we like to figure out how they did the effects, or like, oh, there's a person standing right there, you know, with a fan, or you know, how they created that illusion. We like to break it down and into how you would do that, and that transfers into photography or whatever, you know, art you're involved in. It's gonna have some influence regardless if you want it to or not.
Definitely. And I preach that to anybody that's starting out or even still in it. I mean, always watch content. Like, always keep watching content, because that's gonna definitely keep your creative juices flowing. Because I realize as soon as I don't watch something creative, it don't flow as good when I go out and shoot. But when I'm constantly watching something,
getting that inspiration,
like, a little bit. If I watch it once or twice a week, that helps. You know, because you know, as a business person, you deal with so many other things.
Right.
You kind of forget. But I noticed that you had won an award in Starville as best photographer, right? What year was that?
22 and 23.
22 and 23. Okay. What can you say, like, what you think that contribute to that recognition for them to recognize you to be able to win that award?
Right.
What you think?
I feel like that has a lot to do with relationships and how you treat people.
Yeah.
Being fun. And, I think that goes the longest way, like making somebody they're having a good time during the session or even just talking. I like to leave people like feeling good about themselves, you know, and I feel like that makes a huge impact. And then word of mouth outside of that, I think that goes a long way. But working in a smaller town like Starville, I think, you know, if you impact one person that day, it kind of creates a spider web effect, I guess. So every place I go to, I'm trying to put myself into that situation and meet the people and create a relationship. So the networking side of it, I guess, I think is important, especially in smaller towns.
Yeah.
But I do, like I said, I enjoy making people feel good and have a good time. And I've always been a cut up, which didn't always work to my benefit, but I found a way to, you know, harness that. So we, you know, even at weddings, we're cutting up the whole time. We're having fun. The bride and groom are having fun. So that translates into nice photos as well.
It does.
You get genuine reactions. And I tell all my clients, I'm like, I'm gonna say some dumb stuff throughout this just to be silly and get a reaction. I was like, don't take it seriously. I'm just trying to, you know, get some emotion or some legit feelings coming out. So
some kind of like, in a sense, like candid.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of my questions. How, if somebody, let's say we have a new photographer here and they just want to get started, like what would you tell them about? What tip would you give them about? How would I say it?
The best steps to begin, or
to like entertain. To entertain your couples, because at the end of the day,
as far as working with a couple or just in general,
working with the couple, because like you want to make it fun, because that's 9 times out of 10 when a couple speaks about you, it's about the experience you gave them. So what would you tell them to kind of do at like throughout the day? Because at first, with my first experience, I didn't want to say too much. I was scared that I would be trying to be funny when I shouldn't try to be.
Right. You rub somebody the wrong way or whatever.
So like, what little tips like that would you give them in the beginning?
I feel like getting to know your clients goes a long way as well. You know, not just showing up on the day of the wedding. You've never talked to them except for signing contracts and whatnot. You know, I think having a consultation, whether it be, you know, on FaceTime, or I like to meet in person, because I feel like that's where I shine the best. Because I don't know, I feel like I read people and I can just kind of bounce back, but getting to know them beforehand will kind of set the tone for how you treat that client.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I give a lot of compliments as well. Like I said, I like to make them feel comfortable and feel good about themselves, because then after they see something that I did on the day of, you know, showing them a shot of them on camera, and you just see them like, oh, they got their confidence now. And I feel like that goes a long way.
Yeah.
If it's the groom, you know, he feels like a stud, you know, he's shining, and you know, the brides just want to feel pretty, and
no, it makes sense. It makes total sense. And I think I hit it at that on my past episodes, like just being able to talk to them. And I actually said on the channel, I did a video talking about that, like your experience, like why they choose us. And you hit it on the nail by just making sure you talk to them before the wedding.
Yeah.
At least if you can only get to them once, but at least get to them twice if you can, because that does makes a difference in the day. And I got a question. Do you have you ever read the book Surrounded by Idiots?
I have not.
So like I would give them that book. So this book, Surrounded by Idiots, I forgot who the author is. It basically helps you understand the different types of people. Okay. Like for instance, it's all people are color. So like for me, I'm a blue. I'm really a blue. A blue, they can be very analytical. Like they very informative. They very down,
more
like
technical.
They more information based.
Yeah.
And logical. A red is like they kind of like, I know you met a business person where he's just uptight. Yeah. He kind of like mean all the time.
Serious.
You got a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. A little more intense.
More intense. That's what I'm looking for. More intense. And then it's like green and yellow, and the yellow is kind of like lazy in a sense. Okay. The book goes more in depth about the people, but I'm just giving like a basic.
Yeah, the gist.
Like they don't really care. They kind of like laid back, just whatever happens. And I can't remember green, but that book goes in detail about each person, like how to treat them. Okay. How to go in like different situations. So I will give, if I see they struggle with that with people, I will give them that book.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that would be one of the books I would give, really, to anybody that just, let's say, have anxiety with people and they know they have to deal with that one person.
I think that is a struggle for a lot of photographers and artists in general, because I always, say it's like your character levels. Like you can be, really good looking or have great people skills, but all your bars are not going to be full. You're gonna have strengths and weaknesses. It's all going to level out, but everybody's got a little bit different pattern. That's kind of how I think about it. So you may create great unique artwork, works of art, but then you can't sit still, or you got some other thing, you can't stay on task or something. So you're gonna have downfalls. But I feel like artists in general do have trouble working with people. So and I feel like you kind of have that gift, talking to people just down to earth, I guess. So some people, it's kind of instilled in them that they just kind of thrive off of people, and a lot of folks have to work at it. And they do. And that is the case with a lot of photographers who don't succeed. It usually has to do with their people skills.
Yeah, I believe that. And I hint at that a lot, because the only reason I'm able to do what I do is not because who I was brought around, like who I was raised by and stuff, but it was the things that I did in high school. Like I played basketball, so like if I was shy or anything, scared, you're gonna see it. So I had to be like, okay, I'm gonna embarrass myself a couple times. Yeah. Just let it happen and just get over it. Go from there. Yeah. So I had to get over that at one point, and I did, and that helped a lot. And then I noticed self-esteem. You gotta have confidence and self-esteem. And some people I meet a lot of people, they like, I struggle with that. And how I was able to do it, cause I wasn't always confident either. What helped me gain my self-esteem and confidence was just by doing the daily things.
Such as?
Just like literally, let's say you set out to do, I don't care, like like clean your room every day. Like
just
something simple as that, and just stick to it. Cause you can be like, dang, I actually kept that up and I did it. Or simple for a lot of guys, working out. Women too. I don't know why I'm talking about guys, but women too, like simply just going and just working out, or just go for a walk. Do that on a daily basis or a weekly basis. And what you're gonna see, like, okay, I achieved this, I done this, and you're gonna see it's gonna result you into other things. Yeah. So that's something I learned over time, that every time I put my mind to something little, I make sure I did it constantly, and I got something else.
It starts overlapping.
And I'm like, dang, I did all that stuff. Yeah. Like literally, I did all that. And so like same thing with this business. Like I told you, I went door to door. You know, so I went door to door. That was tough. Like people, I say it like it's easy, but that was tough. I ain't know where to go, didn't know who to talk to. Yeah. Didn't know what the outcome.
Just trying to get your business started,
just trying to get it started, trying to get known and make money in the process.
Yeah.
And that alone was hard. But when I got through that period, I knew like if I get through this, I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah. You already done the really tough stuff.
You see what I'm saying?
Just put yourself out there with not much experience.
Nobody don't know me, and I'm young, and my hair look like this, so they gonna already think I look weird. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
So putting myself out there, and once I got through that, I'm like, I could do it. And then I did it in the COVID time. So just that alone got me confident. Yeah. Like, I could do this. I could film this. So little things like that. That's why I would tell people, like, I don't care what it is. Reading a book. If you like to read, and you haven't been really reading your books like you want to, try to read a book a month. Simple as that. And just go from there. All the little things that you said you want to try to do, try it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I think, I know it's a little bit off subject, but like you said, smaller goals and consistency does go a long way. And like you said, after you do the one thing and it becomes your new norm, you know, you just automatically do that. Then you add on a new thing, and you just progressively do that, and before you know it, you know,
it's normal.
It's normal to you, and you're being productive. And
it's like, what's next? And then if you any type of person like me, you get that sense like, I want more. I want to feel that more, and I think that's what's going to happen. You want to have that feeling more. Yeah. And stuff. So, but yeah, that's what I would say. That would be one of the things I would do.
I had another thing to kind of add to that I feel like, as far as starting out in photography or videography, I say this all the time, but less is more when you're starting out. I know a lot of people in this business, they do their first job or their first session, and they go and buy, you know, $15,000 worth of stuff, which it works sometimes, you know, but a lot of times you're biting off more than you can chew, because you haven't even really learned your camera. You haven't learned how to work with people and pose people and work your camera under stress, which people don't realize. You know, you can do it all day by yourself, and then you have somebody staring at you like, okay, what do I do next? And then you start sweating, you know. So I mean, everybody's been there, I feel like. So I think keeping it simple and you know, get you a decent camera and a lens or two, and figure it out.
Just literally play with it. Play, have fun with it. Don't stress about it, just have fun with it. 'Cause I did the same thing. Just got a little Canon T-Rebel. I think it's up there. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, it's up there.
Yeah, that's it.
People been trying to buy it from, like, no, that's my first camera. I'm not selling you my first camera.
I still got mine too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
5D Mark III.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, that's what I did. But good example. Just cause I kind of did that. I kind of sped mine up though. Like, I had that camera for a minute, but I started investing again. But like, I know what type of person I am. Right. So like, I know, as I was going, I'm gonna learn it too. Right. And so like,
that would be your push.
That would be my push.
Like, okay, well, I got this investment. I gotta
get on it. Yeah. Because I remember a lot of people were saying about Sony cameras at the time. They were scared of a lot of people were scared of manual, like using the camera in manual. Yeah. Instead of using, but most of them were using auto. I went straight into manual when I got the camera. Right. And I realized a lot of people didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's probably the best thing you could do.
It was the best thing I ever did.
I don't even think I ever did that.
I don't think I did.
No, I mean automatic. I never.
Oh yeah, automatic. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did that. But I had a good mentor as far as photography, and you know, he kind of pushed me to get out of my comfort zone and change lenses. And because when I first started, I thought I was gonna mess something up. I didn't want to change the lens unless I was like at my house, you know, being careful and stuff. And now I'm just like, I feel like having somebody that you can kind of learn from, and not necessarily apprentice, but just having a mentor and learning your equipment before you get too far into it. Yeah.
True.
But it does depend on the person, because like you, that was your incentive. But I know that it can turn a lot of people off. They put all this money into it, and they haven't even learned how to see light. Or
I would say, I see a lot of people, they go out of business. Well, let's say like photographers, they'll quit their job. Like, okay, YouTube for example, they'll just quit their job and go into it. Like, you need to keep an income regardless.
Yeah.
And just, I'll say, I ain't gonna say that.
I think that's an important
just
point.
keep working that out. Keep the job, and as you build that side, then you'll know when you can quit your job.
And that's exactly what I did. I worked several jobs, and then I was helping a buddy with weddings on the weekend. On Saturday, that was what I did, and then we
less stress.
Yeah. And then so I knew my bills were paid because I had the 9 to 5, and then slowly after you start needing to take off more at your real job so that you can do your photography, then you start just kind of trailing off from the job and doing what you like. So I think that is an important point.
Heck yeah. And I want to ask you, like, how did you leverage your local community support? Because Starkville is a big place, of course, like especially compared to where I'm from. How did you leverage that that support to grow your business and over the years?
I guess it goes back to what I was saying. I don't know if this answers your question, but going out and meeting people and just trying to connect the dots to your next job, I guess. I feel like weddings is a great way to have an influence over a large amount of people.
Yeah.
So doing local weddings and stuff like that, and doing a lot of stuff for free. I did that a lot. I still do it. I was at a shoot the other day, and I was waiting on my client to get there, and this lady and her mom came up, and they were doing some stuff with their little 2-year-old and baby at MSU, and I saw they were kind of struggling and stuff, and I was like, hey, I'm waiting on my client. Do you want me to get a shot of you? And they're like, we'll pay you, or blah. I was like, no, it's cool. I'm just gonna take your picture and I'll send it to you. And I feel like doing little stuff like that creates a environment of trust and appreciation, and that in a town like Starkville goes a long way.
It does.
So little things like that, I feel like they make a big impact. Just being a decent person, caring about people, and listening to what they have going on. So
yeah, true. It's like, I noticed that, because I'm in a smaller area, like my city, they only got,
I call Starkville small, but this is small. Small.
This is like, we only got like 3,000 in this area, I think. 3,000 people. I don't know how many Starkville has, but it's like 3,000 in this area. And like, I noticed a lot of young people around here, they want to start a business, or they want to do like, I don't know, like gaming or something, but they feel like their community is not big enough to do that. And I was like, no. Yeah. Dude, you can go elsewhere and get the same work.
And most of the greatest artists in every genre come from a tiny little place. They're the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, because I told her, look at me, like, I don't rely on just my community. I go to Louisiana, I go to Tennessee, I go to Alabama, I go to Tupelo. You can go anywhere and still be in this place. You just gotta have that mind for like, okay, it's okay if they don't watch me or whatever you're doing. It's okay. And I was cool with it anyway from the start. Like, I already knew that I was gonna travel eventually. Right. And so I had to let young people know that, like, just because your people in your community is not supporting you at that time, it's fine. There's so many people looking for your service and
a lot of times it's kind of nice that way when you're first getting started, that you're not being judged by your people that are immediately around you. You just kind of do a soft, I don't know how to put it, but spreading out before you like invite everybody in to like, hey, this is what I'm doing. So I think that can and it builds confidence as well. So I agree with what you're saying.
It does. Because I used to practice a lot at this at the park. It's like a track, and this guy used to always walk. People always walk at this track. But one of the guys, I finally met him. I haven't seen the dude since like 2014, 2015, something like that. I ain't seen him since. And I've been seeing the other people, and I got to tell them what I do. And they didn't realize where I went. They thought I played basketball. Like, no, I started this, and it was like, it's no way, you know, because who I was. But this particular guy, I'm saying it for the people that thinking that they gonna rely on their community. This guy just, when I told him, I said, hey, and he was like, you still playing ball? I said, And he was like, what you doing? And I told him that I started a video production business, and I had all this.
Right.
And he was like, and just kept walking. I was like, wow, like you don't even know what I've done so far, you know. And the thing about it, I still got a lot to do. But like even just that gesture, I know if I was anybody else, not saying can't speak for everybody, but it's still, that would have hurt my spirit. Like, dang, you don't even know what I've done.
Yeah.
But like,
you could at least faked it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He just didn't say a word after that. And I just looked at that like, it don't even matter because I live in a good life anyway. So, but yeah, that was like, that's a story I'm gonna always remember. Like, I'm gonna remember that day that he did that, because stuff like that.
Yeah, it sticks with you.
Oh yeah,
and it can drive you know, a little bit to you know, like.
And the thing about it is not like we say, it drives you. It makes me have nothing towards him. It's just for me to be better. Yeah. That's what I think a lot of people get that wrong, where they like, yeah, I'm gonna prove him wrong.
Yeah.
But that person really don't care though.
Yeah, no, they still won't care.
They won't care.
Yeah.
So you gotta really you can take that as motivation, but keep it for yourself.
Right.
To move you forward. And I did a lot of that, because I had a lot of people tell me, like, I had one dude, he said, no, you shouldn't have dropped that ball, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should have kept that. And I told him, I still got it. I just ain't going to do it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, yeah. So that's just for little tips for the young people out there, or just people just trying to start a business in general. But
I think it's important, like all the successful people, they had a lot of failures.
Yeah.
You know, and especially as artists and stuff, like it takes us a while to find our spot that feels right. So, you know, you're gonna do this, and you know, may fall short a little bit, then you do something else. And if you just keep doing that, of course you're gonna have failures. But I don't think that's I don't think you can succeed without failing a bit.
Oh, heck no.
So
nah, I ain't never had any success if I didn't fail at it, for sure. But you, speaking of that, like failure, I know you had you probably had a couple failures in some of your projects. So like, what would you say on your like some of your photo shoots that was the most challenging so far that you can think of? I know you had a lot of them, and how challenging was it, and what you learned from it, if you can remember?
What I had to say, I guess, is it's not necessarily a specific challenge. The challenge for me was figuring out how to balance everything. It's not a specific instance that impacted me or didn't impact me, but it was mainly the struggle of balancing your time. You know, of course you have to make money to live, but that's not really what life's about to me. It's a means to an end, and yes, great. But I think, you know, being able to spend time with your family and your friends and be able to live, I think that's a struggle for especially like small business owners and stuff like that, because they get, you know, they have so much to do.
Yeah.
But if you don't balance that, you're just kind of passing through the good parts of your life and the good parts of your kids' life. So that's been the biggest struggle for me, is making sure I stay true to my roots and stick with my kids and be there for them.
Gotcha.
So I know that doesn't answer your question, but that's probably the biggest challenge for me, is to stay on task with my family and stay on task with work, and keep my head up when you know, things get slow or whatever. I think that's a big challenge, is which everybody goes through, you know, slow seasons or whatever, but I think that being able to just accept that there's going to be slow times, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, enjoy the time that you have while you're not, you know, doing it, and enjoy your family, and take some time for yourself, feel better, and then get back to it.
That is so true. Yeah, I had moments like that, and I had to reflect, like, look, I'm finally off, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not running no more.
Yeah, you feel guilty when you're off almost. So I was like, well, I need to go do something.
Yeah.
You know, I need to get on the computer and do some, update something.
Yeah.
But I feel like just taking that time for yourself and your family.
It's so true, cause like even with me, cause of course I want stuff to happen. I think that's everybody though.
Yeah.
But all great things come with time. Like we hear that as a young, like being kids. But like once you truly experience that, like, yeah, you just gotta let it play its course. Cause when something don't come for you or don't happen for you, you're not ready for it. I learned that. Like a lot of people, I realized people that made money, they didn't get that money they didn't get that money at an early stage because they wasn't ready for it.
Right.
And so I had to look at that with a lot of my stuff. Like it's the reason why I'm not getting them type of clients yet. I'm not either ready up here or something around me is not ready. So just knowing that, it helped me, okay, what little things I probably need to fix. So those little things will add up and I'll be ready. And so I look at it like that.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Because a lot of things, they don't happen, you know, because some people, they work, for instance, like the YouTube stuff. I see a lot of channels where they post good content and they post consistently, like all the time. They post a lot, but they don't get no views. So like, and mine is kind of different. Like I ain't saying I get tons of views, but for a channel that just started, I get a good amount of views. But I feel like it's the stuff that I learned beforehand, like how much I really studied for it. And once I actually was able to do it, it kind of flourished.
Right.
Because I was planning.
You put all the parts in place to
I was planning all this beforehand.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to do it, but I wasn't ready. So it took me a full year. I had to wait like a year. And I think I had this place and everything, but I had to wait. Because it's like stuff need to be built up and stuff like that. And I had to learn other little things to be ready for it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so like a lot of people don't realize how much you have to sacrifice, not only just time, but the passion you gotta have to keep going.
Stick with it.
Because if you don't have any passion in it, it's gonna show. You're just not gonna be doing it.
Yeah, I would say you definitely seem driven.
Yeah,
and
you
passionate
gotta be
about what you do. So
you got. I mean, I say it again. Like, of course, like besides my goals, I'm not really working for myself. Like, let's be real. Like, as a man, I'm working for my family.
Yeah.
I'm working for my wife. I'm working for my kids. It's not really for me. Like, of course, I'm going to have it. But, like, I want to be able to do, like, when my kids say they want to do something, it's like, we can do it.
Right.
It's not like, we got to wait 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, if I know he's ready to do it, we finna do it.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the main things that I noticed that, like, I had in my life. Like, when I was ready to do something, we could do it. But I seen that other people's lives, they can't do it.
Yeah.
And they be having the driven, they be having the fire to do it, and they just can't do it at that time. So that's one reason I work so hard, not only just to better myself, but when I'm in that situation with a family, I can do all the necessary things.
You'll be set.
I'll be ready for it. So that's, a lot of people like, why you worry about your family already? Like, have fun. But at the end of the day, I know I ain't gonna be single. Well, I'm not single now, but I'm gonna have kids and stuff. They gonna need stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
They always need stuff.
They all, you know what I'm saying? They gonna need me. So I'd rather work hard now, so
you're putting yourself in the right position.
So I can have time with them.
Yeah.
So I can spend that time.
Because right now you're having to grind and
no sleep, like barely sleeping and all that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like one day I know I'm gonna be able to sleep when I want to sleep and do the stuff I want to do. So, and that's how I look at life.
I like it.
That's how I look at life. But I kind of want to rant there. Anyway,
it's all good. I enjoyed it.
I was gonna ask you about I noticed you post pretty regularly too.
I try to.
On social media. I see you often. That's the thing though, like, man.
I don't feel like I do social media like I should.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's everybody though. Even me, I post pretty much a good bit and I feel the same way. So I don't feel bad. I feel the same way.
And a lot of my social media stems from my clients' posts and stuff, I feel like that is the main part of what, you know, as far as Facebook or whatever goes. Like that's how you're getting recognition, because they're putting it out there and, you know, attaching your name to it.
Yeah. That's one of the best ways to grow in the beginning. Make sure like you either post it or they post it and they tag you, and that's just the best way to do it, because all them people gonna see it. But yeah, but like far as for me, I see you post often.
Yeah.
Cause I got a couple times that I seen the photo, I know that's you.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to see the name.
Right. I like that.
Cause that's your style.
Yeah.
But
future trends. It was about future trends and technology, I guess. And I didn't have a lot to say on what's actually coming in the future as far as photography techniques or whatever. I try to kind of steer away from looking at a lot of photographers' works, just so I can keep myself. I like watching informational stuff on YouTube and seeing the photography side of YouTube, but as far as looking at a lot of folks' pictures, I try to kind of steer away from that. But I will say that I see a lot of promise and problems with AI, the introduction of AI.
Okay, yeah.
Into art.
Yeah, okay. So
what's your opinion on AI before I say mine?
On like photography side or video?
Any of it.
I like it to a certain extent. Like I don't like it when, of course, for photos, you want to be yourself. When they see that photo, you gonna be that person when they see you in person. I don't like it when they fine tune all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Like, of course, like I said, I seen photos where they changed the whole background where it was just a lake and they put a whole mountain in the thing. Like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. And I get, like, you probably trying to reach a certain client with it. But, like, if it makes you more money, do it. But I don't necessarily, like, would I do it? I probably wouldn't do it, to be honest. I wouldn't, because, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable just doing that all the time.
Right.
Because you can abuse it.
Yeah.
You can literally abuse it. But far as the video side, I would probably, like, far as just enhancing my video, I would use AI for editing, not for, like, to change my clip completely.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever do that, ever. Especially for weddings. It don't make no sense to use it for weddings. But, like, to help me on the back end side, I would use it all day. If I know that it won't mess anything up.
Right. That kind of leads into what I was gonna say. AI is awesome, but it's a tool.
It is.
It's a tool.
It is a tool.
And I think that's what it should be used as in the art scene. Because it shouldn't just be, you know, you type in words in and that's your artwork.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's just, I mean, I know it, people do it and people make money with it, and that's fine. I'm glad they can.
Yeah.
But as far as photography and videography goes, it's a tool to make you more efficient. You know, doing your storyboards, using AI to create, you know, your timeline, or to get inspiration. And like I know you use AI on the back end a little bit to help formulate some things. But I think it's a tool, and I know it's going to be, but I hope they don't exploit it. And then I just don't like it when people create something with words in AI and then this is what I did.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
It's no soul in it. It's no soul in it.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean it doesn't look cool.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, you know, it's a tool. And I think that's what it should be used as. So that's the trends that I see coming is you know, more and more people trying to exploit that a bit. And then on the other side, we're loving it. Like, you know, as far as on Adobe software, you know, being able to select the subject or select the sky, I mean,
it's easy. It makes
pivotal in like your workflow. like you can roll through some stuff. You know, if your sky's a little blown out or whatever, and these certain pictures, you know, you can AI select the sky, which is crazy. I mean, to me, it sounds crazy to be able to just click a button and it selects something and isolates it, where you can make incremental adjustments to it without thinking too much or without trying to go through. Because back in the day, we had to use the pen tool, you know, and select with the little dotted line and do all that. And
took way more time.
Yeah.
Way more time.
And it just burns through your hours. And
it does.
That's not what I want. Because you can get lost in you know, a photo playing with it like that, and you spent 2 hours and you hadn't really done anything. You're just playing.
Yeah.
But I think that using it as a tool and implementing it in photography that way, to make your life a bit easier. That's the point of it to me.
That is, yeah. Because I do photos as well, and I got into it right before the AI stuff was starting. Like you could push this button and select. So I was like,
it was wild.
It was more time consuming, but like I was gonna say this too. Reason why I wouldn't use AI in that sense, because it don't, like I said, it has no soul. The main reason why a person is booking your session or paying you to film their wedding is because what you portraying on that screen. And what I do, I feel like every time you watch either my sneak peeks or my films, you feel what I felt.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to do every time I put out a video. And I say
kind of trigger some emotion, some type of feeling.
And that's why I said I put my soul into it. That's why I tell people. Yeah. I said I think that what separated me. Even in the beginning, I put a lot of soul into it, and that's what you feeling.
Yeah.
Like it might not be the best color and whatnot, especially it wasn't. It looked good at the time, but it wasn't. But it's a simple fact of how much I put into it. You can feel what I felt. And the AI is gonna kind of take that away, depending on how you use it.
Yeah.
It's gonna definitely take it away.
It's gonna be a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah, and I hope people just realize not to just abuse it in that sense. Like make sure it, like you said, enhance.
Yeah, use it for enhancements and to help get your point across rather than just create something for you.
Yeah. And do you use AI for like anything else?
Really only photography.
Just photography.
And I mean, I do some, you know, I'll play with, you know, the creating side of it, you know, in Adobe Photoshop or whatever, but I mainly use it for subject select and to isolate certain things within that photograph that I want to enhance or tone down. So that's really the only way that I use it. Now I use Siri on my phone all day. Yeah. I don't even touch it.
That
I'm
was
just like,
kind of the
Siri,
first
do
AI.
this.
You think about it, hey, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. But yeah, man, shoot.
I was talking about, you know, starting simple with photographers and new into the photography world, I guess. Like I think like all the new technology, I love it. Yeah. Like when, you know, mirrorless came out and you'd be able to do all this low light stuff. Yeah. And like, cause I had the 5D to start out, and you know, it's you got a straight through viewfinder, you know, no bells and whistles. Right. Great camera. I would still use it today. I mean, I always keep it with me as a backup anyway, but then Sony, the A7 II or A7 III, and I saw that mirrorless, like I'm like, dude, this is where it's at. Like I was just not used to being able to do stuff like that with such little light. And when they started bringing the AI autofocus and tracking and stuff, like yeah, I was like, dude, this is tight. And so I kind of got excited about the Sony, but I was missing, like, to me, I wanted Sony guts, like the Sony mechanisms on the inside with Canon colors. I
got you.
And so I was just like kind of biding my time. I was still using my 5D, still using the Sony, but I just like Canon colors and stuff like that, like just the way it looks, it just like it touches me right, because just the way the colors look, so it's vibrant and enticing to me. Yeah. But so when I started using the Sony, I loved the technical side of it because the camera was just a workhorse, and I mean the super high speed, just everything's like flawless, except with me. I just wasn't getting that buttery smooth feel like I do with Canon. So when the new mirrorless Canon came out, I was like, okay, this might be my thing. And so I kind of combined both, and they kind of did what I was talking about is kind of the same, the workhorse side of the Sony, but with the ergonomics and colors of Canon. So when they came out with the new mirrorless line, I was like, this is where it's at. Yeah. So
what Canon? What the other camera you use? The Canon.
The Canon. It's a R6.
R6. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I feel spoiled. And that was what I was saying. Like starting out with a more baseline camera will teach you how it works and how the light works and everything, because if you're coming in, you're going straight to mirrorless, like you can't even appreciate all this stuff because you didn't have to do it manually before. Like you're adjusting with your light meter on the inside.
I think I missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that right on the.
I mean, it just happened within the last little while.
I started when I first got the camera, I started in 2019. That's when I got it. So I got that one. It was a little different. But I went straight to Sony after that.
Yeah.
So I think I missed that era for sure.
Yeah. So you went right in on it, and you already had your live viewfinder and all that stuff, which is sick.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you don't like my secondary shooter, his is just it's not mirrorless, so he don't have that little live screen and all that, and so I'm just like spoiled over here. But I feel like going through that and learning the basics and grinding and learning your light metering and all that good stuff, when you get to step up, you're just like spoiled.
Yeah. And I understand that, because even just going from that Canon to the Sony, I didn't start with these cameras. Though what I use now is the FX30 and the A7S III.
Okay.
My first Sony camera was the A7 III.
Yeah.
So that was my first bad boy.
Yeah, it's a balling camera.
It is.
It's still a balling camera.
It is. It's actually probably behind you on that box, if I'm not mistaken. Is it right there? Yeah. So
that's it.
I used that, and of course I got them. But like I said, I watched directors and stuff. I seen the type of cameras they use, and the amount of work they have to put in to get focus and stuff like that made me appreciate what these cameras do and what the older cameras did too.
Right.
And the different types of lenses, like the anamorphic lenses. Like a lot of people, I know they don't know about them type of lenses, of course, but just having a certain type of lens tells that story in a different light. It's crazy what it can do. It's crazy. Different focal lengths. It's amazing how a 50 mil will look so much different if you shoot like a movie, like with video, than 35. It's just amazing how different it's gonna look.
Yeah, drastic difference.
Yeah, it really does. It does. But I missed that. But I'm glad that I was curious enough to look back and see how it actually used to be. Yeah. And even now the newer stuff is insane too. Yeah, with all this
constantly
new technology with the focus motors and stuff like that. Yeah, it's so much going on. Even with the gimbal side, like I missed that what do they call them? The little glider things. Yeah, I missed that era.
You talking about the DJI?
No, like the stabilizers.
Yeah.
They kind of the monopod, and they have I think they call it gliders. I can't remember exactly. Okay. But like they kind of like balance. And you had like one handle.
Yeah.
I ain't seen nobody use it, but I missed that era.
Yeah.
But I was debating like, should I get that or a gimbal? And I ended up getting the gimbal. At the time, the gimbals, that's my first gimbal. Yeah. That's how you see how small it is. Yeah. That's how they were. They wasn't big. And then eventually I start gradually going up. Yeah. And it's like, man, and just from the gimbal standpoint, like, I'm so glad I got this gimbal. Yeah. Because they got screens on it.
Yeah, it's
just balance it, calibrate it here instead on your phone. So yeah, you do get spoiled as you upgrade it.
And I feel like that's kind of a rite of passage too. Yeah. Because you don't have a lot of income to spend on it in the beginning, or either you take out a loan or finance, which we've all financed stuff. But yeah, I think it definitely creates a appreciation factor.
Yeah, it does. It makes it. and a lot of people I know in the beginning they were saying, gear doesn't matter. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter to a certain extent, but like once you used to your equipment already, like once you upgrade, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
You're gonna know. Because when I upgraded from that A7 III to my A7S III, it was a whole my prices went up a whole nother grand or so. Just because I changed that camera. I was shooting kind of the same way.
Yeah.
But it's the simple fact that it looked that different. It just looked different. And then I perfected colors and stuff. Just that fact, I went up a whole grand or so. Just that. So I always say, gear does matter because I spent a lot of money on it. On a lot of gear.
You got to justify it somehow. I think it does matter in a sense, but I feel like starting with less.
It helps.
It will help.
You have no idea, like I was already studying
right? Yeah, too. You're already in it.
But like if you just start you just so happen to pick up a camera, like I like this. Yeah, you need to stick to that.
Yeah, figure it out.
Figure that part out. But like with me, I was in high school. Like I had my laptop. I had a good nice laptop, and I ain't have a camera yet. But I was studying every day on it.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of class, I was smart enough where I didn't have to listen.
Okay.
For the most part. So, and I was cool with all the teachers. So I used to just study in front of their face while they teaching. Like I didn't care, because at that point I was like, I'm not going to college.
Right.
I had that feeling I'm not going. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. If they get mad,
instead,
so what? I don't care. But like I say this, I was studying that whole entire time on camera stuff, how to run a business, like what type of content I need to make, what type of clients in there.
You're giving your own self some schooling.
I was already doing that.
Yeah.
I was already doing it my entire senior year of high school. And I ain't even had a camera yet. So when I got the camera, it's like, okay, I know what this button do. Now just me just getting used to the camera.
Right.
But I already know what it does.
Yeah.
So like, if you done it like that, keep going. But if you ain't doing any of that, stick to the small stuff for sure.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to discredit what you were saying.
Nah, I know you wasn't, man. I know it. But
yeah, it is enticing because they always got cool stuff and new tech and attachments and all that, and everybody wants to do that. So I definitely get it.
I'd be wanting to. I almost bought it's a new gimbal that came out.
Yeah.
It's the DJI 4 Pro 4. And I like, you know what?
I might need that.
I might want that. And let my brother have the gimbal I use, because he got an older gimbal. And, I was trying to make this,
Yeah, you justifying it.
This thing, I asked him, like, that thing working fine? He said, nah, it's good. I ain't been spending it. Just leave it alone until it completely break down. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
But I have noticed every time I did upgrade, it does make, of course, the job easier.
It does.
It makes the job easier. And depending on what it is, it makes it look better. Because I crashed one of my drones.
Yeah.
So I had to rent one. So I rented one of the new ones.
Just to check it out. Now you need it.
I've been wanting it ever since.
Yeah.
So every time I pull out my old, I'm like, man, I gotta use my phone with this thing, with the other one got the screen on it. I don't even want to use this no more.
I get that.
But it definitely.
It does. It improves your work for sure. Like I said, every step is gonna improve, and even if it's just making your life easier, your work's gonna reflect that too, because you're not worried about all these little things. You can focus on the task at hand. So
and I was gonna ask you, like, have you ever done studio work, like with flash and like with strobes and stuff?
Not really. I had studio classes in college where we were doing that, but we were strictly black and white. Camera, film, and all that. So, but not really. I usually just travel to whatever site I'm at and bring everything that I got, and I just kind of keep it all with me and use what I need and don't what I don't.
Yeah. So do you recommend like a photographer to get a studio eventually, or do you prefer that route? Like you said, you rather just travel?
I think it depends on what type of person you are. Is it me? I'm like pretty ADHD. I have trouble, I've been chomping at the bit in this chair right here. So, but to me, I don't want to feel stuck, I guess. And I get bored easily. So, I mean, one day, I can pull that off, but I just like walking into a new situation every time.
Yeah.
And it's always a challenge. That's part of the challenge to me is, all right, how are we gonna make this look good, you know? But I mean, doing stuff when you have lights set up and everything, like obviously it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that. You know, you can kind of throw all the bells and whistles at it because you're not carrying all this stuff. So I guess it depends on what type of person you are. If you're more outgoing or more like, I don't want to say like fun loving, but more energetic, you know, maybe a studio may not be for you, but it's going to be dependent on that person.
Yeah, because I feel like some not just video photographers, but video people feel like they might see everybody else getting studios and stuff.
And they feel like they need to.
I need to get one too to feel legit or whatnot. Right. But no, I don't think so.
I mean, I understand why people would feel like that.
Because like, I probably should be doing that too.
Yeah. Like, why am I not doing that?
Right.
We get artists get imposter syndrome all the time. You know, they always question themselves like, am I doing the right things? Or, you know, why am I not doing this and they're doing that? But I feel like finding your own way, taking influence from everyone around you, but still taking a common, you know, a collective from everyone to that influences you to, you know, build what you're building, and not just any one person, I guess. You know, I'm just saying, you know, take your little pieces of advice and influence from a larger scope rather than this person's doing this, so I need to. But yeah, you know, and I'm sure some photographers may thrive in the studio scene, and I know they do, and I'm glad that there are those people so that I can be running around crazy all over the place. So that's kind of what I like. I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did you get your name, the name of your business?
How I get my name? Okay, so
because it's like connected.
So like
connected.
my video production company is called Connect Edits.
Okay.
And then my YouTube channel is called Connect Media. So Connect Edits, you should see. I just seen the logo, my old logo. It was plumb mess. I don't know what I was thinking. But it was a basketball logo because I was gonna do basketball stuff.
Yeah.
So it was probably
like sports photography,
like video.
Okay.
And so Connect Edits, I knew I wanted it to be with a K or something. Yeah. At least with a K. And I didn't name it my name. A lot of people I see that they do it with their name, but I felt like man, what if it gets so big that I end up selling off and it's my name. Yeah. So I thought of that. Okay. Like, cause I know I was gonna do some big things. If I get the chance to, I'm gonna try to grow as big as I can. And so like, what if I want to sell it one day? That's why I didn't name it after me.
That's smart.
Yeah, that's why I didn't. So I was like, something. Then I thought about movement, cause I'm all about moving forward or something. So like, what word is like movement? So I found the word and it just didn't sound right. Like, I don't like that. Yeah. And then I thought, like, what I'm gonna be doing most of the time? Like, what I'm good at doing? And I said, connect. I connect with people very good. And I thought about it. Like, let's take the C, change it with a K. And I like to edit. Yeah. Like, literally, at the time, bro, like, I'm telling you, I used to edit, like, anime stuff. Yeah. That's how I practice editing. I edit like anime clips.
Like anime.
Like the cartoon.
Okay.
Like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I got you.
So I added like certain fight scenes for certain shows. I would get those and just edit like a cool video. Okay. I practice a lot on those. Yeah. And so at the time, I liked the editing a lot. So I was like, you know what? I'm good at connecting with people. And I feel like that kind of speaks for my character, how well I can connect with people. So I was like, you know what? Put a K on that, add Connect Edits. And like with edits. And that was it. Nice. And I shouldn't have added 2. You notice I'm getting rid of the 2. I was just trying to do it just in case, but I should never add it. But now it's just plain Connect Edits because I don't think anybody's named their company that. So that's how I got it. Okay. Because I wanted to have something that was meaning towards me. And at the time, I love to edit. And that's most of my job anyway. So,
yeah, I'm sure it is.
So when you think about it, if I just had Connect, you're like, okay, what Connect actually do? Yeah. But you put edits, like, okay, he do some type of
He's doing something.
Some video or photo or something.
Yeah,
So it kind of narrowed it down. And
Got you.
and same thing with Connect Media. I got inspired by this channel called Think Media. And they kind of do YouTube stuff like for content creators. So like they teach you what type of content you should make. Why are you making it? The type of audience you make, and why that audience is reacting to you. And they talk about the algorithm of YouTube, all that. They do podcasts. So like I was like, I want a channel similar to that, but within my industry.
Right.
And I think that's one reason why my channel has been growing the way it's growing, because I studied what they were saying and other people, of course, and just I brought what they taught me and what I knew from video side and what from my clients and put it together, and that's how it's been growing ever since. Cause like, I hate to say it, but I ain't post like in 2 months.
Yeah.
No, not 2 months, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And normally if you just starting out, you don't get no subscribers. Like I have done gained like, I know like 20 or 30 subscribers without even posting. So I know like,
something's working.
My videos that I've been making is working. So, and I think it just boiled down to all the stuff I learned and what I implemented into it. So, but yeah, that's how Connect Media came about. We knew we was gonna call it Connect Media from the get-go. We just had to get all this stuff together and stuff.
Nice.
And,
I've always been curious.
Really?
Yeah.
And the Polaroid, like, I knew I wanted a camera up there. And I seen a lot of, and they kept giving me like the same generic camera. I was like, what's something I ain't seen? And I thought, well, cool. I was like, you know what? I ain't seen a Polaroid yet. And so it was a good many Polaroids. They was just playing. I found one. And I don't use that one no more, but it was different. I ain't seen it no more. I ain't seen it anywhere. And so I was like, you know what? Connect it with Polaroid. And that was it. It was a sealed deal. And now I use AI for my logo. Yeah. So it's a more defined Polaroid.
Yeah, and see, that's how you use it as a tool.
Yeah.
That goes back to it.
You could definitely tell that it's like more polished, of course. And now you can tell like, if you look at it like, they probably been in business for a good bit now. Yeah. And it's just overall your brand, making sure your brand, we can talk about that.
What's that?
About branding. Like, what would you say would be what is the most important thing about branding in the beginning? Like, what would be some of the things you would do in the beginning to get your branding going?
I guess,
or even finding your brand, because you can just have a brand, but you don't quite gotta understand. People don't understand what your brand represents.
Well, I feel like it takes, especially folks in our field, it takes you a while to figure out what exactly you are or how it looks. I feel like everybody kind of goes through that stage of, I'm gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink at it when I'm editing these pictures. And everything looks different. You're trying all the fun stuff, and everybody does that at first, but I feel like to get a name for yourself, I feel like going out and doing stuff for people for free, and just volunteering your time a little bit, and staying consistent. Yeah. If you stay consistent with how your work looks, and to me, with your logo and just having that thing on everything, it helps. I think that helps a lot. Yeah.
And I will add on this, like, what helps your brand is who you are, of course. I realize when they see
you are your brand.
Yeah, you are. And like, I think some people when you starting off, they kind of forget that. Yeah. Like, you are representing that brand that you made. And so when you go out, you
always need to be aware of that.
Be aware of that, speak with purpose. Be confident in your movements and stuff. Don't be.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, I know when you watch us, we move with a purpose. Yeah. It ain't no just.
I'm like, these boys working now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the people walk up to us all the time like, man, we really love how y'all work.
Yeah.
But that's why I want to be portrayed. Right. So when you think of Connect Eds, like, them guys work. Yeah. And when you hire them, they're gonna work. And that's one of the things I wanted. And of course, I wanted to be more of an experience too. That's one reason. Yeah,
I feel like that does tie into your brand. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you good. You good.
Go ahead.
But I was like, that's one reason, like, with the Segway. Did you ever see me with the Segway?
Yeah.
Or to see a video?
Yeah, I saw a video.
Like, it helps with my video, but it helps
it's an impact.
Yeah. It helps my brands, like, oh man, that dude.
Well, you doing that?
Yeah, not everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
And some people I know at first, some people like, he just want attention. Like, it really does help my video.
Right.
Whether you know it or
why
not. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody or every company uses something to call attention to it, and I feel like using little things like that, even if it's just a little video clip of you wilding out on a
man,
on a Segway.
I kid you not, one of our weddings, man, 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, I had a wedding. I was free, and they booked me that Friday because their videographer wife had to go to the ER or something like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm free, let's do it. So I got to use the Segway. We had it was like a whole gym. It was like, of course, fixed up nice. So when I'm on that thing, I lock in. I kind of go back into my sports days where like the crowd talking and cheering, I don't hear any of it.
It doesn't exist.
It don't exist. And of course, I have my ear thing. I'm talking to
of course you got the ear thing.
Yeah. So I so happened I was able to use it. And I was planning on doing some stuff on it. So when I got out there and I started using it, apparently my brother, my second shooter, he was in my ear talking to me. I didn't hear anything he was saying.
Really?
It's because I was just so focused on my shot, make sure I'm hitting it. And I stopped and I was like, man, that was good. And he was like, yeah. And my second shooter was like, yeah, that was good. He said, they was cheering for it. I was like, who? Like, who? He said, literally, dude, everybody was applauding you. Like, literally cheering for it. I was like,
even know.
I like, bro, you lying. And then they started coming up to me saying like, did you hear everybody cheering for you? I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Just because
it made an impact.
It made it, that was entertainment, you know. That was an experience.
It was an experience.
Not just for them, but for everybody. And so like, everybody's gonna remember, man, I remember this one video, dude, he was on a little thing going crazy on it. So like, that's one reason I do it, because, doing weddings, we see the same stuff, especially as a guest.
It's a trademark.
Yeah, you see the same stuff. So when you see me, you was like, oh, this is kind of fun to watch. And I get so many people like, man, that was fun. That was fun. That was fun to watch. And that's one reason I do it too, is to give them experience. And like I said, it does help with the video a lot. Like, people don't even realize that.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So anything like that, like little that that can help you in that sense, try it, And I don't use that thing every wedding either. I use it when I know the time is right. Yeah. It presents itself. But I would say that anything that can help you in that way, do it. And don't be afraid to, because a lot of people,
they don't want to do something that everybody else isn't doing.
Like, that could scare somebody, like with the Segway. I ain't saying go get a Segway.
Right.
But
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
But like, that can scare people because, like, what if I fall?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I had it in the back of my head, but like, I ain't gonna think about it too much. If I fall, that'd be the day I fall.
Yeah. Have you ever fallen during a wedding?
Heck no. Not yet. I don't know what wood.
I definitely have fallen.
Have you?
Yeah. It was a huge wedding too. There's like 30 people in the bridal party.
Dang.
And of course, there's little kids running around, and there's people behind me like watching. And so I've got all these people right here. My second shooter's over here doing his thing. And so I'm talking to him. I'm like, all right, well, everybody, come to the center or whatever. So as I'm backing up, I feel a little kid's head like right under me. And it was either like crush the little kid that was like 4 or like just go down. So I just like held my camera up. I kind of pushed the kid to the side and went down. I'm talking about in front of the whole wedding, really. It wasn't during the ceremony or anything, but it was still pretty rough. But I just got up,
Save the
shook
kid
it off.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather not squish him.
Right.
So
yeah, that kind of almost happened to me one wedding. I knew kids was running around at this wedding. I pulled the Segway, and that shot made that video at the end pop. I'm glad I kept doing it. But like, I almost ran over a kid with it. But I am aware of my surroundings too. Yeah. Because even though I'm looking at my camera, even I'm not looking down where I'm at, I'm always aware. Yeah. And I think some people, they be thinking that's why I'm gonna fall, because I'm not looking at where I'm going. Yeah. I'm looking at my camera, but I am. But I seen this kid, he was little thing, he was running, and I got real close to running him over, but I jumped off just in time. And that was like, good save. Right. Cause I would have plowed him. Like, that little kid been
Yeah, I think I blame my second shooter. I was like, man, you didn't tell me nobody was behind me. You let me fall in front of all these people. But no, so from now on, whenever we are backing up, he'll put his hand on my shoulder, and so I just back up with him, and I've just gotten to where you know I can trust him a little bit like
weird.
that.
You know, I do that for the photographers too. If I'm close enough to them, like I realize
it helps,
especially with women. You know, they you can knock them over. Like especially with me, if I bump you, you're gonna move. And so like I kind of like, especially during the send off, cause you be tight and people be acting crazy.
That's
I kind of like I hold them like a little bit, you know, where they won't fall.
Give them a little resistance.
Yeah, because sometimes they be trying to fight. I don't want like
it's tough backpedaling with all those people and then sparklers at your face and stuff.
Girl almost fell on her face. If I didn't put my hand, she would have fell and she would have been embarrassed. So like, yeah, just knowing that, you just gotta be careful and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I can't think of anything else.
I think we nailed it, man.
Yeah, I told you, man. You talking about you was nervous, man?
Don't tell nobody.
Nah, ain't nothing to this stuff, man.
I'm just spoiled because because I feel 150% confident when I'm holding the camera, you know, but as soon as it's on me, and I've modeled, you know, not modeled, but been, you know, in portraits and model for photographers a ton of times, but I don't know.
It's different.
Video is a bit different, and especially when you walk into, you know, you're up in this setup like this. So
yeah, I get that a lot. Like people,
it's a bit, it's intense.
Yeah, they.
I mean, and it looks good. I'm just saying, it looks like, oh, this is the real deal, you know.
So you ain't just walking in just some studio with just top lights on and stuff like that. But yeah, I try to give it that feel. That's why I had the music playing and stuff like that to give you that comfortable feeling.
The experience.
Yeah, you see how I'm saying? I'm all about that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
All about that for sure.
Yeah, so I appreciate you having me.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Ain't no problem.
Yes,
man.
sir.
It was fun, and it's nice seeing you again. I know we're gonna work more.
We get to work together again. I will say that working with y'all was probably my favorite wedding with videographers.
Really?
So yeah, so don't take that lightly. I mean it. Work with a lot of folks, but
appreciate it, man.
I don't know. I just felt like we all connected. We were like working together to create an end goal.
Yeah, it wasn't no like move.
Yeah,
it wasn't that.
Yeah, we were working as a team, even though we were separate units. So.
But like, it was fun, man. I had a lot of fun. I know you made sure that I had everything, and one point you was like, "You sure?" And I had to let you know, like, "Nah, you good, man. You okay?" Because I know I had experience with photography where they was like, "What?" Like I was like, "What the crap, dude?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a butthole at all. Like, if I feel some type of way about you, it's really because of you. Because I'm here to get along with everybody.
Right. Yeah. And
but like, man, with y'all, it was fun, man.
Yeah,
y'all
we
kept
were cutting up.
Like legit. The conversation was going. We had fun. We got the shots when we needed. It was legit for sure. And I definitely hope we got more weddings to come in the future for sure. Cause like, it was fun.
Same.
I can definitely do that again. And anybody that wanna work with this man, seniors, wedding films, hit him up. Cause he'll get you right. He'll get you right for sure. My profile is now what you took. Man, I had to put that. Yeah. I've been getting so many comments on that. Like,
it looks sharp.
Like people like, man, you shredded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You made me look like a hero. Like it was a hero shot. So like, I knew exactly what you was doing when you took that. Like, yeah, that's gonna be dope. And when you showed it to, like, that's gonna be our profile.
That's money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But hey, get at my man. Get at my man for sure.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh yeah. But hey, that's another episode of Connect Media. And like I said, appreciate you being on here again, and we'll end it there. See you when I see you.